And how dare you make me go behind Miss Kathy? I can't top that. But you know what? I'm just going to share with you what's in my heart today. So I'm going to just stick this right here. And I would like to share a passage from my book real quick. And I promise I'll be conscious of time. Up until a year ago, I had always equated Election Day with colorful yard signs, cooler weather, and National Angie Ransome-Jones Day, also known as my birthday. But now I equate it to my father's passing. It was a typical day for me, just like any other. I was working from home, running my mouth with Evelyn, and trying to get some semblance of work done. Coming off of a great weekend, I was on cloud 29. My dad had come down to celebrate my 44th birthday, and I basked in the glory of another year full of possibilities as my oldest son, Miles, prepared for his first year of college. There were so many things to be thankful for, but little did I know what was to come. If not every single day, every other day I talked to my dad. Usually it was a typical 2-minute conversation. Hey, Daddy, what you doing? Oh, nothing, girl, just relaxing. Okay, Daddy, go back to sleep. I didn't want anything. I love you. But today something was different. Something was off. I tried calling him the night before while I was working the election with my friend Janice. Did not reach him. Daddy had the same pattern every day. So when I didn't catch him for the umpteenth time, I did the thing that I dreaded the most. I called his job. And because I knew he hated his job and was just counting the minutes down till re-retirement, I was doubtful he was still there. And as it turns out, he wasn't. The next thing I did was call his neighbor, Miss Effie. After knocking, peeking through windows, and calling out his name repeatedly, she called me back to tell me that she had no luck. But she thought he may have been there because she saw both cars in the garage. After what seemed like another hour of Miss Effie knocking, calling out my father's name, Al, Al, and trying to calm me down from hundreds of miles away, she called for backup in the form of her daughter Erica, who I'd also known for many years. Eventually, Erica heard Daddy's phone ring from inside the house, and it was then that I knew he was gone. I have the hardest job in here today because today I come to you with the story and a message about something that a lot of us don't like to talk about, and I'm glad you gave that segue into it. That subject is death. But I also come to you with the story of what I hope to be encouragement and inspiration and survival, because in spite of losing my father suddenly, and I considered him to be the love of my life, I'm still here. And I'm still standing and asking you all a very important question today. Have you had that heart-to-heart? And by heart-to-heart, I mean, have you had that conversation, as difficult as it may be with your loved one, whether it be your husband or your mother or your father or even your adult children, about what their wishes are and what your wishes are if something were to suddenly happen and you were to pass away? I know a lot of us haven't. In fact, I didn't have that heart-to-heart with my own father before he passed. So now when I go out and I share my book, which is called Path to Peace, I try to emphasize to folks what I refer to as the 3 Ps, which are preparation, prayer, and patience. And by preparation, I mean having something in place as simple as a will and testament, just a basic instrument to document what your wishes are if something were to happen to you. And if you have children, having a will in place is a necessity. Another thing that I actually created myself is what I refer to as my control book. Just a simple notebook. I've got all my information in here, my contact list. I've got my favorite scriptures, songs. Everything is in here. I have my attorney's card, my life insurance agent. So if something happens to me today, my family knows exactly what to do. Every month when I get a new bank or investment statement, I take the old one out and I staple it in. And the last thing is life insurance. You may not know this, but the average cost of a funeral nowadays is $6,000 to $10,000, and that's minimum. And for as little as $15 to $20 a month, you can purchase a life insurance policy. That's my Starbucks habit in a week. I hate to admit that. But my thing about that is no family should have to worry about how to pay for funeral expenses in the midst of grieving. So that's something simple that you can do for your family while you're here today. So I ask you again, have you had that heart-to-heart? And the second thing is prayer. And Lord knows, Miss Kathy, I think I was closest to God more than I had ever been before when I lost my father. I mean, it really took a toll on me, just emotionally, just trying to keep it all together. So prayer is essential. Reactivate or activate your faith whenever you're going through something, especially a loss. The second thing is therapy. And I know in our community especially, it's taboo to talk about sitting on a therapist's couch. But I can just tell you from personal experience, it helped me. Because God gave my therapist the tools to be able to help me to cope day to day, to take care of my family, to work, and just keep it all together. So therapy is important. And the last thing, if all else fails, there's yoga. So I ask you again, have you had that heart-to-heart?
That's good.
And the last thing that I want to talk to you about today is the third P, which is patience. There is no time frame on healing. There's no expiration date on grieving. So take as much time as you need and give others as much time as they need when they're grieving. My husband can tell you, sitting over there, this fine self, it's been 2 years since I laid my father to rest, and I still have a room full of his stuff that I have yet to go through. But I know that I will in time. It just takes time and patience. So be patient with those who have lost somebody, and be patient with yourself, and know that it's okay not to be okay.
Yes.
So I'll ask you one final time. Have you had that heart-to-heart? And if you haven't, will you have it today? I thank you guys so much for your time. I will be over there if you'd like to purchase a copy of my book, or if you have any questions, anything. I thank you. You guys are beautiful. Praise God. Thank you.